Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am, as always, Pastor John McClain, here with my bosom buddy, my partner in crime, the Batman to my Superman, one of the most motivational people I have ever met, and luckily to be one of my best friends, Mr. Andreas Reese. Yes, absolutely. And like usual, you're going to bring that I believe in myself energy, I'm sure.
That's good. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's
absolutely.
been brought. So.
Yeah. And today we have an amazing show to follow our last amazing show where we had Dr. Tim Marshall on the show, a nutritionist, to talk about all the great ways that we can kind of take care of ourselves and take care of our body. But today we have on, have you say your name, because I'm gonna butcher it like I always do with names, and you were butcher it less.
Yeah, Diana Charbonneau.
We're having Diana Charbonneau on with Impact Southern Arizona, and she's going to be talking about all the amazing work that she does. Yes. So that's the first half of the show. It's kind of like, if this is a football game, that's the first half.
Yes.
So it's going to get the game going, get it amped up, and then for the second half of the show, we have a cornerstone of the Common Good Radio Show in Dr. Jennifer Herrera, the
Dr.
superintendent of Tucson International Academy.
Yes, sir.
Dr. J in the house.
Dr. J in the house.
Yeah. So, with all that amazing stuff said, we are going to start this show, I guess like we always start the show, as we should start the show, giving love and blessing to the God that makes us all happen, that has blessed us so very much, not only with this radio show, but the one that precedes this radio show, making college come true. And we're going to give it up to the Lord, and we'll give it up with the Lord's prayers, the one we'll shoot at you today. And it goes a little something like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our trespasses. Actually, forgive us for our trespasses, rather, and we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. So, that being said, we gave grace to the good Lord. Let's go ahead and get this good show started. And why don't you go ahead and take it over and introduce our guest?
Yeah, so Diana Charbonneau from Impact Southern Arizona. I've met Diana like about 3 years ago. It's been a while now, so very grateful for what she does. She's an inspiration to me, to a lot of people in the community. I've always seen her doing a lot of amazing things, so I'm so grateful to have her here on the show. And let's ask her, let's have her talk about, talk to us about Impact and the work you do there, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, and thank you for being on the show, by the way.
Absolutely.
And of course, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. So I work at Impact of Southern Arizona, and I could talk a lot longer than the amount of time we have, but I'll try to sum it up a little of what we do. We really try to give hope and improve people's lives while inspiring the futures that they will have. Mm-hmm. We focus on 5 really big key areas, the first being our food bank. And in December, our food bank gave out over 47,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
So 47,000 pounds of food in December. And obviously with COVID, this amped us up a lot. We have a clothing bank that gives out over 70,000 items of clothing throughout the year. We do senior services, so we deliver meals to seniors, about 20,000 a year, and 85% of the seniors we deliver meals to are homebound, so they can't leave their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring them to them. And then we do youth services, backpacks, feeding kids and their families through school. And then, of course, we provide resources and referrals to other agencies here in town for anything that might be outside of our reach.
Nice.
Man,
that's amazing.
It's weird. It's like, and the crazy thing of why we built this show is because we knew of so many organizations, particularly nonprofits in the community, that are just like these hidden jewels that nobody knows about. I'd like to think Veteran Rescue Mission, and I believe in myself, being 2 organizations that are like that. Sounds like Impact is one of those organizations that's the case. Why would you say that is like people that Impact isn't a household name like Salvation Army or Goodwill?
Well, our main food bank is in Catalina, so most people think that we're up far north, but we actually serve 2 counties, Pima and Pinal.
Okay.
And we have 52 zip codes that come to our food bank, all the way from Sahuarita all the way up to Globe and Mammoth, Seminole, that area. So it's definitely something we're working on, especially trying to get the word out to people that the resources are there. We are here for you, and we're here. Just come and see us.
Yeah, for
And like you said, that you're here for them. And I know that you do a lot of, you're board director for Junior Achievement of Southern Arizona, and you do a lot of volunteer work. Like, what inspired you to be so involved in the community?
So I was born and pretty much raised in Tucson. I call it home. And I was one of those kids that wanted to get away from Tucson. So I went to school in D.C., the George Washington University.
Cool.
And when I was there, I really started to volunteer. And I would teach kids how to read in low-income schools. I lobbied on Capitol Hill for a literacy nonprofit. And when I came back to Tucson a week after my graduation, because it's way too cold there, I came back and I realized the great need we have here that I had never recognized before. As you know, we have the highest amount of nonprofits than anywhere per capita than anywhere in the country.
Wow.
And that's just a huge amount of need, and I love to help people, so it just happened and I hit the ground running. I would say yes to anything I could, and now here I am today.
Nice. Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
I guess kind of like a follow-up to that would be how can people reach out? And actually, no, I'm a little ahead of myself. I see you and your organization do a lot of fundraising. Can you tell us about the memorable moments you have experienced, or an event that you have coming up that you want people to really pour their energy into?
Sure. So the first half of it, with fundraising, there's a lot of nonprofits out here, but I think the most impressive thing I have seen throughout this pandemic is the willingness of our community to give. We are a fairly large nonprofit. There's so many nonprofits in town, and we have just felt this enormous support from everybody. We had a campaign at the end of last year to raise $100,000 to kind of close the gap due to COVID. And thanks to our individuals, clubs, organizations, we raised about almost $140,000.
Wow.
Which was great for
That's
the end of
amazing.
the year. Of course, coming off of that, these few months are always the kind of scary ones. But I will say, when everyone got their stimulus checks, we saw a huge amount of people giving their stimulus checks to Impact to give back to those who aren't as fortunate as they have been, which I think is really stepping up to the plate of, well, if you don't need it, then give to those who do. And there are the people in our community doing that. So we're very appreciative. And there's also, we have, personally, I created the Women of Impact Luncheon that Impact runs. And last year we missed it by 4 days when they shut everything down for COVID. So our event was March 20th. March 16th is when everything closed down. But it was great. Our sponsors really held in there with us throughout the year. And it'll be coming up now. April 2nd is our Women of Impact Luncheon that we have coming up. And I made it because I wanted to recognize those women and people in our community who are doing great things, not just to recognize Impact, but there's so many stories of hope in the community, people who are doing incredible things. So it was our way to collaborate and shine light on all the great things happening, as well as promote all the great work we do at Impact.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's awesome. So, this has been amazing so far, and we are actually going to be going to commercial, and we will be back with Diana with some more questions and some more amazing stories. And this is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veterans Rescue Mission, and we will be right back. The Common Good Radio Show. I'm your coach and speaker, Andres, alongside my good buddy here, Pastor John McLean, and with the wonderful Diana Charbonneau, who has...
You always say that so smoothly.
Do I really?
Impressive.
Man, I'm trying not to mess up, but I guess I'm doing good, so I feel good.
Good job, man.
I feel like James Brown, man. I feel good.
Yeah.
So thank you again for being here. We appreciate you, and we love so far what you've been telling us. And one question that I do have for you is, how has COVID affected Impact, and what changes did you have to make to adjust to what's going on right now?
So obviously COVID has affected a lot of different things. On an average year, Impact of Southern Arizona reinvests about $2.5 million into the community through all of the food bank, the clothing bank, youth and senior services. So we have two sides of what COVID changed. One is the program side of it. Our food bank obviously went to a drive-through food bank. We had to do a lot of switching things around to make that happen. And then our clothing bank, we shut it down for a while. We had to install plexiglass. We did PPE, all of these different things to make our volunteers safe, because we serve a very high risk population, so we need to be safe. And our senior meal deliveries, we had to close our commercial kitchen. We actually partnered with a local Stay Naked kitchen. They actually do frozen pre-made meals so that way you can put them in the freezer. And so that has been crucial to us being able to still deliver our senior meals. The
Nice.
Golden Goose Thrift Shop. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Mm-mm.
We are one of the 2 beneficiaries of the Golden Goose. So we love them. They're volunteers. They're incredible. But with COVID, they had to limit the amount of people they can take in. So obviously their sales have been a little down. So we really have just had to make all of that up in donations and what we see coming out of the community.
Yeah.
So that's the program side of how COVID impacted us.
Mm-hmm.
What I really like to focus on is the client change that we've had. A lot of people think, oh, you go to a food bank if you're really in need, if you're, people use the word needy, but really it's for people who are trying to stretch their budget, who are barely making it check to check. So for example, who are our clients now? We have small business owners whose businesses have been so impacted that they are barely making it check to check.
Wow.
We have people who've been furloughed or laid off to COVID. In some cases, these families, both parents have lost their jobs. If the kids have jobs, they've lost their jobs.
Wow.
We we have people who have been on back pay for their utilities. A lot of assistance goes out, but what happens when you get it? You still have to move forward. And if you don't have a job, how do you do that? So.
Wow.
Really, if you're behind on your rent, your electric bill, if you need somewhere to come in and get groceries, that's where the food bank comes in. So just really trying to promote that. So call us to see if you qualify. We're always happy to talk to anybody who gives us a call. We will help you however we can. And we have clients who come in emotionally. They are just stunned. They don't know how this all happened, and it happened quickly. They've lost their jobs. They're finding themselves in this space, and we are able to help them, to stabilize them, give them that support, give them hope, and really get them back into the workforce, stabilize them to move forward.
Wow. That's beautiful.
That is awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. You guys do so much. It's amazing. And it's nice how you're helping people who are barely just making it. Maybe they feel like, you know what, I couldn't ask for anything like that. I don't want to be that person that's needy. I mean, I'm making it, but like you said, they're living paycheck to paycheck, or they also have a small business that got hit really big. So for for any nonprofits out there that are having challenges, what advice would you give them?
I thought really hard about this question because a lot of nonprofits out there are really struggling. So it's actually almost my advice to the community is to support our nonprofits. Impact is lucky. We're a food bank. We qualify for almost every grant and assistance out there because we need to keep food on the table for people. I've heard a number thrown out there that we've lost about 20% of our nonprofits. And that's a huge number. That's programs that are no longer happening. That's clients that aren't getting those services, and we as a community really need to band together to support them, whether it's $1 or $5, whatever we can to give them. The arts are suffering so badly right now. I mean, some can't even open to have a performance to get the word out there, and they are, for lack of a better word, pivoting and trying to do things online. But really, I feel like it's us as a community that needs to come together for our nonprofits to really give them that support and give them the hope that they have given back to the community for so long.
What are some of the stories that you have maybe with the nonprofits that you work with, or maybe some that you've heard about that are the effect of COVID and things that are happening right now? Because I also run a nonprofit, and we've had to ratchet how we do outreach. We've had to change how, what grants or even are available because the services we're providing are different. What are some of the stories like that you've heard?
There's a lot. I'll try to pick a couple good ones. So, for example, Junior Achievement of Southern Arizona is financial literacy in schools, which is something I'm very passionate about. Well, school isn't happening for a lot of people. How do we teach these kids to plan financially for the future when this happens, when they're adults, if we can't even get there to talk to them? So luckily, they were able to innovate and push a virtual platform pretty quickly, but we have volunteers who teach these to these students, and some of the stories you'd hear are heartbreaking. This one student, she's teaching them what's wants and needs, wants versus needs, and so often food came up as a want, as a need. You know, kids who are sitting there on watching their screen, trying to help their 2 or 3 other siblings over here while they're doing their school. You know, one kid holds up a bag of Maruchan ramen his mom left and said, "This is dinner for me and my family for the next week." So it's people have been impacted on a wide variety of levels. Literacy Connects, which has a reading seed program where volunteers can go and teach kids how to read, and can't go into schools, you can't teach kids how to read. As I'm sure you know, domestic violence rates, things that would have been reported by people who would know, there's no way for us to know those things. So it's impacted us on a way that it's hard to funnel people into the resources there are. And then, I mean, I could give you so many stories of and especially the arts. I really want us to support our arts because for so long it's been an avenue to enjoy something that we took for granted, and now they need that help and support. And so, I mean, it's just a round robin circle.
For sure.
Wow.
We have about a minute and a half left. Go ahead and tell our listeners how they can get involved with you guys, particularly, you know, what your greatest needs are.
Sure. So first off, if any of you have heard this and you're thinking, man, I want to find out if I qualify for that, or maybe they have a resource for me, I've been struggling, give us a call. Our phone number is 520-825-0009. That's 825-0009. You can visit our website, which is www.impactsoaz.org. So impactsoaz.org. And really our greatest need right now is for volunteers who are physically distancing, who are being safe, because we do have that high risk population. And of course, you know, if you had a really good year and you're looking to give back to those who haven't been as fortunate, we're always looking for donor dollars, but volunteers is a big one. You can email us at volunteer@impactsoaz.org. And really just helping us spread the word that this resource is here for people, and to really help break down that barrier, that stereotype that it's only for people who are in the absolute need. That's what we're here for. We are here to help.
Awesome. And once again, Andreas brought a powerhouse on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
Diana,
for
being on the show.
This was awesome.
Oh, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
we
you
appreciate
guys heard, go to Impact SOAZ.
It's like Impact of Southern Arizona, impactsoaz.org.
Yes. And check them out. Definitely donate, volunteer, get involved if you need help. Don't be afraid to go and get a couple meals and get something good to eat, for sure. And then also we invite you to go to veteranrescuemission.org for more information about the show, more information about all the amazing organizations that we support, as well as that support us. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. We will be right back after this break. To the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am your boy, Pastor John McClain, here with my boy, Andreas Ruiz of the I Believe in Myself gang.
Yes.
The clan, the I Believe in Myself clan.
Yeah.
Yes. And
we mess with.
Yeah, don't. Who you gonna call? and today we're gonna be. We already spoke with Diana Charbonneau. Charbonneau, just smooth. It just flows. With Impact, another diamond in the rough nonprofit organization in Southern Arizona in Tucson, and we're gonna be here in a little bit talking with Dr. J. Today's Key of the Week number 10 is actually something fun that I think Andreas can actually chime in on getting a mentor or a coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I knew you'd enjoy talking about this, especially getting this ball rolling, and why you think people in life or for tasks or for goals need a mentor or a coach to accomplish those things.
Yeah, that's a great question, man. For me personally,
that's the only type of questions I ask. Thank you.
Yes, those are awesome questions. Yeah, but yeah, man, getting to that, it's really important to have a coach or a mentor. One of the biggest reasons why I have a coach is because of accountability. Okay. Accountability is crucial to our success, I think, because when we hold ourselves accountable, we can't keep our word to ourselves at times. Let's keep it real. We say, oh, you know what, I have to go clean the garage, or, oh, yeah, let's go get some pizza. Absolutely. And I'll leave this work for later. But when you have to have a coaching session with somebody that you're paying you're putting your money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're putting your money on the table, you're gonna do the work. You're
Mhm.
gonna take action. But if you're trying to keep your word to yourself, it's gonna happen maybe every now and then. But sometimes you'll procrastinate and you'll say, you know what, this is too hard. I can't do this. Analysis paralysis will hit you, and then you'll be
I let
doing the
myself
dishes.
off the hook a lot. That's definitely something I do. Like I'm just like, okay, this time I'll let you get away with it this time, but next time you don't get away with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's why I think it's really crucial for us to have a coach and also a mentor, somebody that's doing what we desire to do, because now they will give us the map to where we want to get to. Like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. So if you have somebody that has success in the area that you desire to have success in, then they will give you the shortcut to that success, as opposed to you trying to figure it out all yourself. Like for example, today I had a coaching session with the client, and I told her about how, she can write her book, she can do a podcast, she can do the coaching program. Like I told her, I have everything for you. I have the map ready for you, but you have to take that first tiny step first. And so once you take that first tiny step, then I'll give you step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And we have the roadmap for you. It's just now take action. And that's where the accountability comes into play. Now I hold you accountable and ask you, hey, did you reach out to those clients? Okay, why didn't you? And then they'll tell me why not. And if they do, they send me a message. I don't even have to message them. If I message them, that means they didn't do it. But if I don't have to message them, then they message me and they say, hey, I did it, and they're excited. And then they're celebrating, we're celebrating, and that's kind of like how coaching works. For me personally, accountability is the biggest thing that I think is helpful.
I agree. And I also to kind of like, I think, add on to your point about getting a mentor that's doing what you want to do, or something that someone that you can kind of look up to. I think as soon as I started doing that in my life, that's when the world really changed. It's like, I think a lot of times in life we try to be bushwhackers. We try to set our own trail and our own path and kind of have our own originality and autonomy. But you could save yourself a lot of time and energy and money and everything just finding somebody who you admire that's doing probably exactly what you want to do, and learn from them, whether that's volunteering with their organization, or that's joining groups that they're part of, or just reaching out to them and saying, hey, will you be my mentor? Will you teach me something? And I think that, I certainly have had that happen in my life, as far as adopting mentors as well as adopting mentees. I definitely, with my relationship with you, Andreas, you first started volunteering with our organization. We kind of volunteered through other organizations together, almost, shoulder to shoulder for so long. And then next thing we know, we're mentoring to each other, and, we are, partnered with one another. So it's certainly, it's made our organizations in a lot of ways
Absolutely better because of we bounce ideas off each other, but then we learn from each other. You learn a thing or two from me, I learn a thing or two from you, and that's the beauty about having mentors that are doing something that we want to do, but then at the same time you can help them. It's like a mastermind. For example, the other day we're just bouncing the ball around, and we're walking around downtown and talking about all these ideas. That was great, man. I had so much fun just exploring the ideas, and then being in the outdoors and just talking about what we're going to create for the future. It's just great to have that, because you really don't have these conversations with just anybody. Not everybody thinks the way that we do. And, it's no disrespect or no, putting people down, but let's keep it real. A lot of people are not thinking about what they're going to create for the future. Like Earl Nightingale says, men simply don't think. And when he says that, they don't think about what they want to create for the future. They just think about, okay, what am I going to eat next? When's the basketball game on? Oh, a big fight's coming up in 3 months. Can't wait for that. That was me. I was just thinking about just what's going to happen today. I wasn't thinking about what's going to happen a year from today, 2, 3 years from today. So visualization is very powerful. That's how a coach helps you to create that roadmap, so that you can have a step-by-step process on a weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, and make sure that you are moving forward in your life.
I agree with it wholeheartedly. Like usual, you sometimes I even you've talked me into consulting You've talked me into business consulting
Yeah.
recently, and I certainly was resistant, and I continue to be resistant to it.
Yeah.
But every time I meet with the people that I consult with, I'm reminded of how useful it can be. I mean, even if
Absolutely.
sometimes I get that imposter syndrome thing that we always talk about,
Yes.
and feel like I'm not worthy of this X amount of dollars they give me for this time, but that X amount of dollars that they're giving me, I'm saving them so much money
Absolutely.
from this step or that step. So
And think about it like this too. What you're also giving them is you're giving them the roadmap to serve other people.
mhm,
Isn't that your purpose?
mhm.
To serve other people? By you helping them, they're going to serve more people. They're going to create more jobs. They're going to create more opportunities. They're going to create more help for the people who really need it. So you're actually impacting thousands of people by impacting this one person. So if you help them get there faster, the faster that we can get to those people who are suffering right now.
I agree. And this is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission, dropping the knowledge right on top of your head. Hopefully it didn't hurt.
Ouch.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this message. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am still Pastor John McClain. You're still Andreas Ruiz.
Yes, sir.
And you are still believing yourself.
Yes, I still believe in myself. Thank you, man.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. And we have, like usual, I'm pretty sure collectively one of our favorite people in studio with
Absolutely.
us, right?
Yes.
We
yes.
got the Dr. J.
Woohoo!
Not the Dr. J that you may have known
The
playing
Doc-
basketball as a
Not-
child, but the Dr. J. And I always love saying her resume, the superintendent of Tucson International Academy, the author of the book Making College Come True,
Yes.
and the new host of the radio show at this illustrious radio station, 10:30 a.m., Making College Come True radio
Yes.
show. Wow.
Yay.
Bringing the heat.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
here.
Yeah, and today we have an extra special Tucson International Academy guest
Absolutely.
with one of my favorite guests on Making College Come True. He'll actually be on that show here in a second, Mr. B.
Hey, what's
Mr.
up,
B.
guys?
Is that the kids say when they see you in the hall, like, hey, Mr. B?
That's right. And they chuck a deuce while they're at it.
So the theme of today's show was actually the 10th key to Dr. J's book of Making College Come True, and it is to get a mentor or coach, which is awesome that we have Mr. B in the house to discuss the importance of getting a mentor or coach. Because, I mean, quite honestly, I'm a 37-year-old man. I didn't really consider this up until the past five years of my life that this was even a necessity in life.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll start off with Dr. J, since she's the boss applesauce, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. B following. What do you think, Dr. J? Why
That's a
do
great
people
plan.
need a mentor or coach so bad?
Well, we sure all need a mentor or coach, because that mentor and coach can get to know you. And once they know you, they can find what they can validate. And not that you need someone's validation, but they can take what they see and help you be more willing to risk stepping up into that thing.
Mm.
So, for example, when I first got out of college, I thought I was going to be a school teacher and I was going to help kids and it was going to be wonderful. And then I married a guy who worked at a grocery store and I thought that was going to be wonderful. I figured he'd probably move up into management and that'd be our life. And I was happy about that.
Mhm.
But in education, I just had such a passion about seeing the parts that weren't working.
Mhm.
And then I started trying things, and I noticed that when I tried just a few things, it really made a difference. And kids' lives were changed because I noticed, and I was able to just slightly alter what we did and how we did it. And so by doing that, I saw that I needed to play a different role, not just teach them, but I needed to maybe encourage my fellow educators and say, hey guys, this is really important. This is something that we need to change. This is something, look at what happened here, and I did this, and look at the outcome. Oh, then now they can see. So you're sharing ideas. And so then they made me the team leader of our little kindergarten squad, and it was fun. We had 5 kindergarten schools there, or classrooms in that large elementary school, and it was we would talk every day at lunch, and we would make new decisions of how we were going to raise up little leaders and 5-year-olds. And believe it or not, when you're an educator, you can see a 5-year-old and know exactly how they're most likely going to be as an adult. Your personality doesn't change a lot. And if you have some natural gifts of leadership, it's going to show up even at age 5. And it can be nurtured, it can be challenged. You can give them experiences that will help them start being willing to take those risks.